All right, let's talk about the one round that every single one of us relies on. There is an undisputed king in the ammunition world. It's the round that probably started your shooting journey. It's the cartridge that fills up coffee cans for a weekend of plinking. It is, without a doubt, the absolute bedrock of the entire shooting industry. I'm talking about the humble .22 long rifle. You see those 500-round bricks, those plastic tubs, and you just think, cheap plinking ammo. You think it's simple. You think it's basically harmless. You think you've got it all figured out. But what if I told you that inside that little waxed lead bullet is a story that stretches back over 160 years? What if I told you it has capabilities that'll surprise you, and some hard truths that most shooters just don't like to talk about? What if the most common round on Earth is also the most misunderstood? Today, we're ripping the lid off this thing. We're diving deep into the giant of the ammo world. This is our list of 10 shocking truths about .22 ammo that owners rarely discuss. We're digging into the hidden history, the surprising science, and the myths that just won't die about the cartridge we all thought we knew. If you get value from digging deeper than the surface and really understanding the tools you use every day, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because the simple .22 is about to get a whole lot more complicated. Number 10. It's a living fossil. From the black powder era. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a truth that goes all the way back to the days of the Civil War. This right here makes the .22 the undisputed champion of longevity. Here's the hard fact. The .22 rimfire is the oldest self-contained metallic cartridge that is still being manufactured today. The story starts back in 1857 with the .22 short. That round was developed for the very first Smith & Wesson revolver, the .22 long rifle, the one we all know and love, that followed in 1887. Now let that sink in. The ammo you're shooting today is a direct living connection to the black powder era. This is a 19th century design that hasn't just survived, it has completely dominated. It's outlasted all its early competition, rounds like the .44 Henry Flat or the .56-56. Sure, the powders are smokeless now and the primers are modernized, but the fundamental case, the design itself, has been rolling off production lines for over 130 years. This is a shocking truth because it completely reframes how we should see this cartridge. This isn't some modern disposable plinking round. It's a genuine piece of firearms history that we can still go out and enjoy for just pennies a shot. The obvious advantage here is a level of standardization and availability that no other round can even touch. The con is that it is, at its heart, a 19th century design, and it comes with some serious built-in limitations, which we are definitely going to get to. Number 9. It's designed to be dirty. Coming in at number 9 is the simple reason why your hands look like you've been working on a coal engine after a day at the range with your favorite .22. The shocking truth is, the vast majority of bulk .22 ammo is dirty by design. It's a necessary trade-off to keep it cheap. Think about your Centerfire rounds. They're typically using clean-burning powders, and the lead projectile is completely sealed inside a copper jacket. Bulk .22 ammo is a totally different animal. Those bullets are almost always just plain unjacketed lead. To keep that lead from smearing all down the inside of your barrel, they're coated in a waxy lubricant. You take that wax, you combine it with the often dirtier, faster-burning powders they use in high-volume manufacturing, and you get a ton of fouling. That greasy, gritty black gunk is what you're scrubbing out of the action, the bolt face, and the barrel of your firearm. It's not a bug, it's a feature of how they make affordable, high-volume .22 ammo. This is a shocking truth because it finally explains the why behind an experience every single .22 owner has had. It's not that your gun is failing, it's that the ammunition is built to a completely different standard. The advantage of this design is that it's dirt cheap. The disadvantage is you must stay on top of your cleaning schedule if you want that firearm to stay reliable. Number 8. It can never be as reliable as Centerfire. For our number 8 spot, we have to talk about the weak link. This is the Achilles heel of the .22. The inconvenient truth that every single one of us has experienced. I'm talking about the click when you wanted a bang, the dreaded dud. The shocking truth is, by its very design, rimfire ammunition can never be as reliable as centerfire ammunition. The entire reason is in the priming system. Now, in a centerfire cartridge, say, your 9mm, the primer is a separate, self-contained cup. It's precisely manufactured and it's pressed into the base of the case. It's very consistent. In a rimfire cartridge, it's a totally different process. The priming compound is a wet paste that's dropped into the case and then spun at high speed by a centrifuge to spread that paste out into the hollow rim. That process is just fundamentally less precise. If there is one tiny void, one thin spot in that spun compound, the firing pin strike won't ignite it. And that gives you a dud. This is the single biggest reason why the .22 long rifle is not recommended for self-defense. This is a shocking truth because it gives you the clear mechanical why for the reliability problems that plague all rimfire ammo. It's not just about the brand, it's not just about the price, though quality control certainly helps. It is a fundamental limitation of the design. The pro of this system is that it's incredibly cheap to make. The con is that inherent, unavoidable unreliability, which locks it into the role of training and sport, not primary defense. Number 7. It's the ultimate suppressor host, for free. At number 7, we've got a truth that's music to the ears of anyone who loves shooting quietly. The shocking truth is, the .22 long rifle is the single best suppressor host cartridge on the planet. And here's the kicker. You often don't even need special ammunition. See, the crack of a gunshot is actually two different sounds. You've got the muzzle blast, the explosion, and then you have the supersonic crack of the bullet breaking the sound barrier. Most centerfire rounds, your 5.56, your 9mm, are all supersonic. So even when you put a can on the end, you still get that loud crack downrange. To be truly quiet, you need to buy special, expensive subsonic ammo. But the .22 long rifle is different. Your average standard velocity .22 ammo, the stuff that's common and cheap, it typically travels around 1,100 feet per second from a rifle barrel. But when you fire that exact same round from a shorter pistol barrel, you don't get a full powder burn. That means it loses velocity, and it often fails to break the sound barrier. It becomes naturally subsonic. This means you can take a standard, affordable box of .22s, run it through a suppressed pistol, and get that Hollywood quiet sound signature. The ultimate quiet shooting experience is also the most affordable one. The pro here is obvious: the ability to shoot with incredibly low noise, protecting your hearing. The con is that those subsonic rounds are going to have a more arched trajectory, a lot more drop, and less energy on target. Number 6. Not all .22 LR ammo fits your gun. Stinger. Climbing to our number 6 spot is a truth that can directly impact the safety and performance of your firearm. The shocking truth is, not all .22 long rifle ammunition is dimensionally the same, and some of it can actually be dangerous in the wrong gun. I am talking specifically about hyper-velocity loads. The most famous one is the CCI Stinger. Now, to get those screaming velocities, rounds like the Stinger use a case that is actually slightly longer than a standard .22 LR case. They pair this with a shorter, lighter bullet. In most firearms, your standard plinker with a sporting chamber, this works just fine, but it can cause a serious problem in rifles that have tight match or Bent's chambers. In those rifles, the longer case of the Stinger gets jammed into the rifling, into the lead of the barrel. This prevents the bullet from seating correctly. If you fire the round in that condition, you can get a dangerous spike in pressure. This is why some firearm manufacturers, especially the ones making match-grade rifles, will explicitly warn you in the manual not to use Stingers in their products. It hammers home the importance of reading your firearm's manual and understanding that not all .22 ammo is created equal. The pro of hypervelocity ammo is a very flat trajectory and explosive performance on varmints. The con is this potential for a dangerous incompatibility with certain guns. Number 5. It is wildly inconsistent, lot to lot. Number 5 is a truth that every serious marksman knows, but one that most casual shooters just ignore. The shocking truth is, .22 ammunition is notoriously inconsistent. I don't just mean from brand to brand, I mean from one factory lot to the next. Because of the high volume, low profit margin nature of this ammo, the manufacturing tolerances for bulk .22 can be pretty loose. The amount of powder, the consistency of that spun-in priming compound, the exact diameter of the lead bullet, all of this can vary just slightly from one production run to the next. This is exactly why a brand of ammo that shoots lights out in your rifle one day might give you mediocre, all-over-the-place groups from a new brick you bought just a month later. It's also why competitive rimfire shooters will buy dozens of boxes of expensive match-grade ammunition from many different lots. and then spend hours testing each one just to find that one specific batch that their rifle's barrel harmonics happen to like the best. This shatters the idea that all .22 ammo is the same. The reality is a very complex relationship between your specific firearm and a specific batch of ammunition. The pro is that for casual plinking, this variability doesn't matter at all. The con is that for shooters chasing that last tenth of an inch of precision, it requires a huge investment in time and money just to find the perfect ammo lot. Number 4. Primer-only rounds and their hidden danger. For our number 4 spot, we have a truth about a type of .22 ammo that is so quiet, it doesn't even use gunpowder. The shocking truth is the existence of primer-only rounds. You might have seen them, the Aguila Colibri and Super Colibri. These cartridges have a case and a bullet, but they contain zero gunpowder. The only propellant is the tiny explosive charge in the primer itself. When you fire one, they produce a sound that is often quieter than a high-powered air rifle. They were designed for shooting in highly populated areas or even indoors for pest control or very short-range target practice, but they come with a critical safety warning that is dangerously overlooked. Because of their extremely low power, the bullet can, and often will, get stuck in the barrel of a rifle. That's called a squib load. Firing a second round behind that stuck bullet is the recipe for a catastrophic failure. You can destroy the firearm and seriously injure yourself or others. These rounds are only intended for use in handguns or maybe very short-barreled rifles. The pro is their incredibly quiet, almost silent report. The con is the critical, non-negotiable safety risk of a squib load if you use them improperly in a long barrel. Number 3. Its failure created the modern patrol rifle. Climbing to the number 3 position is a sobering truth that connects the humble .22 to one of the most infamous shootouts in American history. The shocking truth is the tragic role that .22 ammo played in the 1997 North Hollywood bank robbery. During that insane, chaotic gun battle, one of the first police officers to confront the two heavily armored robbers was heroically armed with only his service pistol and a .22 long rifle revolver as a backup gun. His desperate shots from the .22, and even from his 9mm service pistol, were completely, totally ineffective against the robber's body armor. That event, broadcast live on television, was a brutal, terrifying wake-up call for American law enforcement. It served as a major catalyst for the widespread adoption of more powerful sidearms. But more importantly, it was the reason for the placement of patrol rifles, chambered in .556, in police cruisers all across the nation. This is a shocking truth because it serves as a powerful and tragic real-world lesson on the severe limitations of .22 ammo in a defensive role against a determined and well-equipped threat. This one isn't a pro or a con. It is a historical data point that fundamentally changed the way law enforcement arms itself for the modern world. Number 2. Why it always disappears during a panic. Our runner-up spot at number 2 is a truth that every gun owner who has lived through the last 15 years knows intimately. The shocking truth is why .22 ammo is always the first thing to vaporize from store shelves during a panic. We all remember the great ammo shortages. We remember walking in and seeing aisles that were once overflowing with bricks of .22 just completely bare for months, or even years. The reason for this is a perfect storm of economics and psychology. Psychologically, when people panic, they want to feel like they're doing something. And because .22 ammo is the cheapest cartridge, it's the one that people can afford to buy in massive quantities. Buying a 5,000-round case of .22 feels like a more substantial act of preparedness than buying just a few 20-round boxes of Centerfire ammo. Now, economically, .22 ammo is a very low profit margin item for the manufacturers. When a panic hits and the demand for high-margin Centerfire ammo like 5.56 and 9mm goes through the roof, it just makes more business sense for them to dedicate their production lines to the more profitable products. The scarcity of .22 isn't just about hoarding. It's a complex interplay of consumer psychology and manufacturing economics. The con is that the most useful and most affordable training ammunition is the one that becomes the most unavailable right when people feel they need it the most. Number 1. The paradox. It's a poor stopper, but it's lethal. And now, we've arrived at the number 1 spot on our list. After we've discussed its limitations, its unreliability, and its role in historical failures, the number 1 shocking truth about .22 ammo is the ultimate paradox. The shocking truth is that despite all of that, the .22 long rifle is a surprisingly lethal cartridge. Let's be perfectly clear. It is a very poor choice for self-defense because of its unreliability and its very low stopping power. but its ability to create fatal wounds is statistically and tragically quite high. The reason for this is rooted in the instability of its small, unjacketed projectile. That slow-moving, heavy for its diameter lead bullet often destabilizes the second it impacts tissue. Instead of punching a clean, straight hole, it tumbles and yaws. It creates an erratic and completely unpredictable wound path. It can bounce off bones and travel in directions you would never expect, causing a disproportionate amount of internal damage for such a tiny projectile. Now, this is not an endorsement of the .22 for self-defense. It is not. It is a sober warning to afford this little cartridge the absolute respect it deserves. This is the #1 shocking truth because it's the ultimate counterintuitive fact about the .22 long rifle. The round we all think of as a gentle plinker for cans has a dark and very dangerous side that must be understood. It is a powerful reminder that there is no such thing as a safe gunshot wound, and that every firearm, no matter how small, must be handled with the utmost care and respect. So, there you have it. 10 truths that reveal the secret life of the world's most popular cartridge. The .22 long rifle is just a study in contrasts. It's a 19th century relic that is more popular today than ever. It's a simple tool for an afternoon of fun, and it's a deeply complex subject for ballisticians. It's a poor stopper that can be surprisingly lethal. The great lesson of the .22 is that even in the most familiar things, there are always new depths to discover. Understanding its secrets, its strengths, and its weaknesses, that is the hallmark of a truly well-rounded and responsible gun owner. Now, I want to hear from you. What shocking truth about .22 ammo did I miss? What's the most important lesson that this little cartridge has taught you over your years of shooting? Share your stories and your knowledge in the comments below. Your experience is what makes this community great. If you enjoyed this deep dive and got some value from it, please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Gun Fanatics.